I'm Brian, 31 years old, and 6 months ago, I asked my girlfriend, Lily, to marry me. We'd been together for 5 years, and I truly believed we were on the cusp of the happiest chapter of our lives. Our wedding was set for next month, but recent events made me realize how wrong I was. To explain how things unraveled, I need to share some history. I have a younger sister, Sarah, who's 28. We haven't spoken in over 9 years, and there's a good reason for that. Growing up, Sarah and I never clicked. Our parents tried to foster a close sibling bond, but we were constantly at odds. Sarah was fiercely competitive, always striving to outshine me. One memory stands out vividly. When I was 10 and she was 7, I won a spelling competition. Instead of celebrating, Sarah threw a fit in the store where we went to pick out a prize. She screamed that it wasn't fair and demanded our parents test her spelling on the spot, turning a happy moment into an awkward ordeal. This wasn't a one-time thing. As we grew older, her behavior grew more destructive. If I earned an A, she'd study relentlessly to surpass me. At 12, I won a local art contest, and our parents took us out to celebrate. Sarah predictably caused a scene, insisting her drawings were better and showing them to everyone at the restaurant, ruining the night. This pattern continued relentlessly. I joined the basketball team, and suddenly she was all about basketball. If I had a crush in high school, Sarah would befriend the girl or even flirt with her. Home, which should have been a refuge, felt like a war zone. Our parents tried everything. Family therapy when I was 16 and Sarah was 13, but she sat there, arms crossed, refusing to engage. The counselor eventually told our parents progress was impossible without Sarah's cooperation. The breaking point came in our early 20s. I had just graduated college and landed my dream job at a prestigious marketing firm. It was the culmination of years of hard work, great pay, incredible benefits, and a chance to work on groundbreaking projects. Meanwhile, Sarah was struggling in college, switching majors and barely passing. When I shared my job news at a family dinner, I expected at least a polite acknowledgement. Instead, Sarah erupted. Her face flushed with rage, and she shouted that I was always flaunting my achievements, stealing the spotlight. "Why are you always the perfect one?" she yelled. "Why can't you fail for once so someone else gets a chance?" Her words stung, but the venom in her eyes, pure resentment and jealousy, was worse. My parents tried to calm her, assuring her she'd find her own path, but she wasn't listening. She stormed out, slamming the door so hard a picture frame fell and shattered. Later, I overheard her on the phone with a friend, saying things like, "He won't get away with this, and I'll make sure he's brought down a peg." I brushed it off as another tantrum. I was wrong. Days before I was set to start my job, the company's HR team contacted me. They'd received disturbing content tied to my name, fake emails and doctored social media screenshots filled with vile, offensive comments. They rescinded the offer immediately. My dream job, everything I'd worked for, was gone in a flash. It didn't take long to figure out who was responsible. Sarah had the knowledge and motive to create such targeted lies. When I confronted her, she played innocent, giving me a cold smirk, but when I pressed harder, she cracked. "Maybe now you know how it feels," she hissed. "You've always been the favorite, it's time you fell." I was floored. My own sister had deliberately sabotaged my future out of spite. It wasn't just betrayal, it was calculated devastation. With a twisted sense of victory, she admitted to forging the profiles and sending the materials, all to watch me crash. I was heartbroken. This wasn't sibling rivalry, it was malicious destruction. I told her I was done with her and cut contact completely. That night, I stayed at a friend's place, reeling from the betrayal. Rebuilding my career was grueling. I took a lower-paying job and clawed my way back up. Over time, I found stability, good friends, and until recently, Lily. When I met Lily 5 years ago, life felt whole again. She was kind, sharp, and deeply compassionate. On our 4th date, I opened up about Sarah. She listened intently, validated the complexity of family ties, and supported my choice to keep Sarah out of my life. I was clear. Sarah would never be part of my future, especially not at my wedding. Lily agreed, or so I thought. As wedding planning intensified, Lily's perspective shifted. She started suggesting I reconsider forgiving Sarah. I shut it down every time. The thought of Sarah's presence made me sick. She'd ruin what was supposed to be a joyful day. Lily would back off, but I sensed her unease. The tension peaked last week while we were finalizing the guest list. We were in the living room, papers spread across the coffee table. Exhausted from work, I wasn't in the mood for another debate. But Lily brought up Sarah again. "Brian, maybe it's time to invite her," she said softly, as if testing the waters. "She's your sister, maybe it's time to let go." Her words hit like a slap. "Lily, we've been over this," I said, trying to stay calm. "She's not welcome, you know what she did," she sighed, visibly frustrated. "That was years ago, people grow, maybe she wants to make things right." My anger flared. Make things right. She destroyed my childhood, my reputation, my career. That's not something you just forgive. Lily's eyes searched mine, looking for a crack in my resolve. "I'm not saying she was right," she said. "I just think she deserves a chance to prove she's changed." "Why are you pushing this?" I demanded. "Why does she get a seat at our wedding?" Her expression tightened. "Because family's important, Brian. I can't imagine cutting off a sibling forever." Her words cut deeper than I expected. "You think this is some trivial fight? She didn't just steal my toys, she ruined my life." She shook her head. "You're being stubborn. You're holding on to something from when she was young." That was the breaking point. "Young? She humiliated me, cost me my dream job, and you call that a mistake? That's not a mistake, Lily. That's cruelty. Maybe she regrets it, she said, her voice softer but insistent. Maybe she's different now. And maybe I don't care, I shot back. She made her choice and I made mine. I told you this was a deal breaker. If you can't respect that, maybe we shouldn't be getting married. Lily's eyes widened, shocked. You'd throw this away over her? She asked. Yes, I said, because it's about trust. You're supposed to have my back. You knew how I felt and you're still pushing. Silence fell, heavy and suffocating. My heart raced as the gap between us grew. I thought you'd understand, she whispered. I thought love meant giving second chances. Love means respecting boundaries, I said quietly. And I can't be with someone who doesn't. She didn't respond, just sat there, tears welling up. After a long pause, she stood and left the room. I stayed, staring at the guest list, the names blurring together. The next morning, the apartment was oppressively quiet. Lily hadn't come to bed. I found her on the couch, eyes red, staring blankly. We didn't speak. The silence said enough. For a few days, we tried to act normal, polite, small talk, nothing deeper. I told myself we could move past it, that love would be enough. But deep down, I knew something was broken. A week later, it all fell apart. I came home late from work, tired and starving, to find Lily at the dining table, pale and trembling. The air felt wrong. What's going on? I asked cautiously. She hesitated, then spoke, her voice shaky. Brian, I need to tell you something. My stomach dropped. What? I asked, louder than intended. I contacted Sarah, she said, barely audible. I found her online a few months ago. We've been talking. I wanted to understand what happened, and I invited her to the wedding. The room spun. You invited her, I said, my voice sharp. I'm sorry, she cried, tears spilling. I thought it was the right thing. I thought if she came, you two could heal. You went behind my back, I said, my voice shaking with disbelief. You did the one thing I begged you not to do. You betrayed me. Brian, please, she sobbed. I love you. I was trying to help. Help, I laughed, the sound bitter. You ignored me. You thought you knew better. That's not love. That's disrespect. She reached for me, but I pulled back. There's more, she said, her voice breaking. I thought she'd changed, but when we talked, she said, you're with him. How could you choose such a failure? The words hit like a blow. Sarah hadn't changed. She'd attacked Lily just as I'd feared. You were right, Lily whispered. I was wrong. I thought I was helping, but I made it worse. I'm so sorry. Her apology hung in the air, but it didn't ease the pain. You should have trusted me, I said quietly. You should have believed I knew what was best for me. She buried her face in her hands, sobbing, but I couldn't comfort her. The person I loved most had chosen to trust someone who tried to ruin me. If you can't respect my boundaries, we're done, I said. Please don't say that, she begged. We can fix this. I shook my head. You broke my trust, Lily. Without that, we have nothing. I walked away, my heart heavy with finality. That night, I slept in the guest room, staring at the ceiling, lost in grief. The next morning, I heard Lily packing. When she appeared with her suitcase, we locked eyes. Is this really what you want? She asked, her voice barely audible. No, I said, my throat tight, but it's what you left me with. She nodded, tears streaming down her face. I never meant to hurt you. I know, I said, my voice breaking. But that doesn't fix it. We stood in silence, the weight of our loss crushing us. Then she turned and left. The sound of the door closing felt like the end of everything. In the days that followed, I canceled the wedding. Calling the venue, caterer, and florist felt like tearing apart a future I'd dreamed of. Some people understood, others didn't. Lily's family was livid. Her mom called me cold-hearted. Her brother texted, saying I'd regret it forever. I didn't respond. They didn't know the whole story. My parents kept calling, their voicemails a mix of pleas and guilt. Brian, this could bring the family together, my mom sobbed. Don't throw it away. But I didn't break it. Sarah did, and then Lily. Sarah even emailed me, the subject line reading, I'm sorry. It was a long message about therapy, growth, and wanting to reconnect. I felt nothing but exhaustion. No apology could undo the career she stole, the pain she caused. I deleted it without responding. I spent the weekend alone, mourning the life I'd planned. I missed Lily, her smile, her warmth, the way she lit up my world. But every time I thought about calling her, I remembered her betrayal. I couldn't sacrifice the part of myself that demanded respect. At work, I kept my focus on tasks. My boss noticed and asked, you okay? Getting there, I said. She nodded. Standing up for yourself is tough, but sometimes it's what you have to do. Her words lingered. That night, I deleted Sarah's email for good, and a sense of calm settled over me. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and follow for more real-life stories and emotional journeys. Your support helps us share more experiences like this. Thank you for reading, and I'll see you in the next one.